All right, let's dive into one of the biggest, most beautiful mysteries in all of faith. And hey, this isn't just some dry theology lesson. Think of this as an invitation to get your head around a concept that's shaped, well, pretty much everything for centuries.
So let's just get right to it. Here's the big puzzle, the Trinity. I mean, how can something be both one and three at the exact same time? It sounds like a brain twister, right? A total paradox. But trust me, stick with me on this, because if we can unpack this, it completely unlocks a new way of seeing God.
And to help us get a handle on it, we're going to lean on this really beautiful metaphor, the idea of a divine dance. See, this isn't some math problem we have to solve. It's more like an invitation to feel the rhythm, to see the movement that's at the very core of reality itself.
Okay, let's just be real for a second. This whole thing can feel like a confusing cosmic dance. It's super complex, and it's so easy to feel like you're tripping over your own feet trying to understand it. But don't worry, our whole goal here is to make the steps a little bit clear.
And this is maybe the most important thing to get. We're not trying to solve for X here. This is a mystery to be experienced, a relationship to step into. It's all about participation, not just, solving a puzzle in your head.
So if it's a dance, who are the dancers? Let's meet this divine dream team. We're going to break down the what of the Trinity, looking at each person and the part they play. Okay, so here's the foundational definition, kind of the textbook answer. The Trinity, the Christian belief in one God who exists eternally as three distinct persons, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And you got to catch those key words. One God, but three distinct persons. That's the whole ball game right there.
All right, to make this a little less abstract, let's use an analogy. A three-legged stool. Think of it like this. The Father is the creator and sustainer, the source of everything. The Son, Jesus, he's the Redeemer, the one who bridges the gap between us and God. And the Holy Spirit? That's the empowerer, the one living inside us, giving us the strength to do this thing. Each leg is totally different, totally essential, but together they make one single, stable stool you can rely on.
Now, this is super important because we need to clear up some major misconceptions that have been around for ages. So what is the Trinity not? Well, it's not one God just wearing three different masks or hats. That's an old idea called modalism. It's also not three separate gods. That's tritheism. And it's definitely not some kind of divine pecking order where the Father is the big boss and the others are less than him. No, the key is three distinct, totally co-equal persons who are somehow together one God.
This idea didn't just pop into existence. It was hammered out over centuries of really intense debate and thought. You can see two huge moments right here. Back in 325 AD, at the Council of Nicaea, they basically had to make it official that the Son is fully divine. Then, a little later, in 381, the Council of Constantinople finished the job, really nailing down the Holy Spirit's role in the whole picture.
Okay, check this out. This is a classic diagram called the Shield of the Trinity, and it does an amazing job of showing how this all works. Just follow the lines. See how the Father, the Son, and the Spirit on the outside all point to God in the middle? Each one is God. But then look at the lines inside the triangle. The Father is not the Son is not the Spirit. It's such a brilliant way to visualize all those is and is not relationships at the same time.
So that's the what. But honestly, who cares? Why does some doctrine from over 1,600 years ago matter to us? Right here, right now? Well, that's exactly what we're getting into next, because this ancient idea changes everything. This right here, this is the mic drop moment. If God himself exists in an eternal relationship, a community of love, that means relationship is at the absolute core of all reality. It's not just some nice thing we do. It's built into the very fabric of the universe. That ache you feel for connection, for community, for love, that's not random. It's an echo of the divine dance.
So how does this actually play out in real life? Well, let's talk identity. Your worth, it's not about what you do or how much you achieve. It's rooted in something unshakable. You were made for relationship in the image of a relational God. Then there's community. The Trinity is the ultimate model for unity in diversity. You know that beautiful African concept, Ubuntu? I am because we are. That's it. It's about being deeply connected in our differences. And finally, purpose. This changes how you see your work. It doesn't matter if you're writing code, raising kids, or making art. Your work can actually be a way you participate in that creative, divine interplay. Okay,
That all sounds amazing in theory, right? But how do we actually find our own place in this dance? Let's get super practical. How do we take this from our heads to our actual day-to-day lives?
Well, for one, it can totally transform how you pray. Instead of feeling like you're just talking into the void, you can think of it as this dynamic, three-way conversation. You can talk to the Father, the loving, sovereign God. You can talk through the Son, Jesus, who totally gets what you're going through. And you can pray in the Spirit, the one who's right there with you, guiding you and comforting you.
Okay, but what about when life gets really hard? When the storms hit, how does this ancient idea actually help then? Let's look at what this means when you really, really need it.
I absolutely love this analogy. Think of the Trinity as your personal survival kit. When you're lost, just completely in a fog, the Father is your compass, giving you direction and reminding you there's a bigger plan. When you feel like you're going under, the Son is your life jacket, keeping you afloat with hope because He's been there and made it through. And when you're all alone and everything is silent, the Holy Spirit is like your emergency radio, beaming guidance and peace right into your soul.
All right, as we start to bring this all home, we're really coming full circle. We've talked about what the Trinity is, why it matters, and how it works in our lives. And now we're coming right back to where we started, that central idea of the dance.
And let's just say it one more time because it's so important. The whole point of this is not to pass a test. It's to move from just knowing about it in your head to actually experiencing it in a relationship. It's about getting out there on the dance floor.
Because that's the thing. This divine dance of love, it's been going on forever. It's not a historical event. It's not static. The music is still playing. The dance continues. And this ancient blessing really just says it all. It perfectly captures the personal invitation. You hear all three, right? The grace of Jesus, the love of God the Father, and the fellowship, the participation of the Holy Spirit. See, it's not just a nice way to end a letter, it's your name on the guest list. It's your invitation to join in. So we're going to leave you with a question. Now that you've seen this incredible and, complex but beautiful picture of a God who is a community of love, what's your next step? What does it look like for you personally to stop just watching from the sidelines and actually step into the dance?